Well, here we go. We're back.
We're back.
In action. It's been 2 years. Can you believe that?
That's crazy. It feels like it was like yesterday that we were recording the podcast, but a lot's happened.
Time is creepy.
Yeah.
So we're going to do a little bit shorter. We'll see how long it takes actually, but an update. We're back. We're rolling with a bit of a new theme, new name, kind of, sort of. All kinds of things have been happening. So we're going to update you, not getting any particular topic today. But yeah, we're just excited to be back on the mic. We have a whole new setup. We actually have a studio. We got professional lights and camera and recording equipment, and we're going to be posting these on YouTube. So we're upgrading.
It's a legit operation.
Yeah, it's a legit thing. We're actually doing it. So we are just trying to upgrade how we operate. And so let's do a little catching up. Let's get to this moment. What have you been doing? What have we been doing for 2 years? Why haven't we been recording a podcast? What has been going on?
We have been working behind the scenes, creating a ton of content.
It's creepy.
A crazy amount of content.
So 2 years ago, the entire podcast, I'll give you a little bit of history. If you're someone who's either new or been listening to the podcast for a while, we have 99 episodes that have been posted before this one. The name changed a few times. It was started with just me doing like interview styles with like my mentors and or solo cast. You then came on. We did different things. We did book studies.
15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership.
Yeah, fantastic book, by the way. Go get it. And then we just kind of realized that there was a lot of opportunity on the table for us to develop new content. Everything in the first 99 episodes, not everything, the majority of those episodes was driven from our kind of parent program that we call Integrated Mindset, 10-week course that we take leaders through, either one-on-one and in groups by corporate, whatever. And I was being nudged, pulled back into athletic environments. So we created an entire course for athletes that we take them through one-on-one, then started working with teams, collegiately, obviously club, high school. We now have, 7 or 8 different programs that we work with as a corporate, as a team, as a company. We started to bring on coaches because we realized that there was more than you and I could handle coming in. So we had to really go from like, oh, well, I can just deliver it because it's my content, to we had to create systems and processes and protocols and all kinds of things that would make it to where we developed a certification.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna probably forget about some of the stuff that we've been doing, but what led us to this is through that process of going from basically having the one program and being able to do coaching off of that, we've completely expanded our product suite.
Yeah, I was going to say we've blown up the product suite because there are a lot of courses that are not even publicly available that people don't even know about that have been created in our.
Well, there'll be a time and a place for
part
them.
of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy, you just always set me down a rabbit hole. I'm starting thinking the one that I'm actually writing another one right now, but it's more of a passion project, and I'm just super excited about it.
That's awesome.
It has to do with training, the breath, the mind, the body, all at once. I'll do a podcast on it.
Oh, another thing that we did in that time in between is we did some brain mapping.
I forgot about. Oh my! I can't believe I forgot about the brain mapping.
So we did some brain mapping on our clients as they went through the integrated
and
mindset
ourselves
program and ourselves, and we got some great case studies and proof of concept on what we could already see subjectively. So we could see the change in the subjective experience, but we actually now have the data showing the changes in the brain and the brainwave activity that has taken place with the transformation of going through our integrated mindset program. So that was really cool.
So passionate about that. It's kind of become a little bit in the background, but we got a certification, obviously our neuro mindset certification through Stephanie Fay, neuro mindset she's a neuroscience specialist.
She has a fantastic, I'm going to give a little plug for her podcast, the Mindset Neuroscience podcast. If you like to geek out about neuroscience and want to learn all about the brain and body and mind connection, check her out.
Yeah, she's got a book out too. Yeah. I'll have to pull it out another time.
And that's on another level because it's textbook level.
Yeah, if you like textbooks. I love textbooks. So I love it. Anyway, so yeah, I want to reverbalize what you just said because so cool. We were able to take and do an image of people's brainwave activity before integrated mindset and our athlete program. And then 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, depending on kind of the case study, we would then do another brain map scanning, right? And we're able to not only see people experiencing these incredible transformations, getting off of certain medications and all kinds of things were happening, but and our neuroscience specialists would help us read. I mean, we can't read them. We just get the test. We hook them up to our heads, and you and I did it, and we did it with our clients, with a handful. I don't know how many
we did. The mechanical side of it. She did the actual analyzing of the brain
it. So
maps.
we would get on calls with her, and she was just fascinated by how much people's brains were changing. I wanted to do that for some confirmation, a little bit of, just some credibility and some confidence that what we were doing was working. We knew it was subjectively, but objectively, I wanted that data. You can find that on our case studies on our website if you're curious about kind of looking at some of that information.
So many reviews from people going through that program that were telling us about their subjective experience. My life has changed, my perspective.
I'm a science guy. I wanted objective, hard data.
Yeah.
Like the brain has changed how it is wiring and firing, the brain activity, the brain states. You can see that you're more relaxed because you're experiencing more alpha rather than high beta or low beta. And so anyway, that was super exciting. What else? So we
saw corrections all across the board though, because for some people they were actually not getting into like more of a focused mode.
Oh yeah.
And so we saw that balancing out too. So it wasn't just like you're in high beta and go, and you need to move into alpha and have a little more relaxed concentration. I mean, we saw people going both directions, which is really cool.
Yeah, we're not going to go to. We weren't going to do brain mapping on this conversation at all until you brought it up. But here's a simple piece. Like, who do you want to be? Right? Like, how do you want to experience your brain is just an organ.
That's right.
And you can change how it wires and fires. I know you've heard that. Maybe Dr. Joe Dispenza has said that, and you've heard that. But you can change the activity of the brain as well, not just how it wires and fires. But like if you're someone who struggles to focus, and we had somebody that was their main thing, ADHD, they wanted to get better at attention control as the mental skill. And so we were able to really tailor the content and the focus of the program to that ability to stay focused, single point focus, attention control, all of the breath practices, all the mindfulness practices. We're building that mental skill, and you could see it in the brain.
That's so cool.
Oh, so cool.
Okay.
3-4 months. Anyway.
That's one thing we did.
So let's recap. Started doing stuff with athletes one-on-one. Started working with teams as a whole and working on mental health, working on mental toughness, working on culture development. So then I wrote. I'm excited. I wrote, we don't edit our podcast, by the way. I wrote an entire document on how to build culture.
Yeah.
And we've been testing it on our family. We've been testing it on environments. We have been testing it on our own painting company. And it's been phenomenal of what has come out of that. Everything from identity to mission, vision statements to standards and accountability and communication. One of the coaches that we brought on was a communication expert. And so we have learned a ton about communication, and we've tailored a lot of our content for conflict resolution.
Yeah. Started doing some speaking and teaching to businesses, keynoting at conferences, all kinds of stuff that has been happening.
So all of that on the back end, been doing an insane amount of content creation and testing of content. I love to test stuff. I love to make myself an experiment, our environment an experiment. And so that has led us to doing a little bit more corporate stuff. And so here we are. I mean, that's a really kind of fast screenshot, but what else?
We're starting another cohort of our coaching certification right now. So that's kind of running in the background. Just excited to have these conversations again, just to dive into the things that we're passionate about teaching and share real life examples and experience.
So let's just real fast hit like the theme behind all of the content that we create. And then maybe we'll do, and I mean, we'll just see where it goes. So the theme is this. And right now, this is the name of a book that I'm working on. I'm not going to stick to this name. I just like to have some sort of a name and subtitle so I know like the thread or the theme that I'm working on developing in my mind as I'm writing, as I'm creating.
We cannot promise you that we'll stick with any name because one thing we're committed to is evolving.
Yeah.
So it's always going to change.
But the idea is you are the environment. Your nervous system creates your environment, creates the experience of your environment, especially as a leader. So the idea, like we have to have first this self-leadership ability to regulate right before we communicate, state before skill is another way we determine that. So we've created a whole system, right? What we call a performance ecosystem of self-leadership, culture building, then systems, structure for that culture to thrive, and then execution basically becomes the outcomes, results. Execution becomes automatic, spontaneous, right? And we create a communication protocol of feedback loops to make sure that that's being upheld, the standards are being upheld, that the culture is being upheld, that the trust and the role clarity is being upheld, all of those components. So that's what we've been developing, and that's the theme of Heart First is you are the environment, which basically means the safer that you're able to make yourself feel, more psychological safety, the more you're able to make your brain feel safe independently, your individual consciousness, yourself, then the safer your environment feels to learn, to grow, to explore, to take risks, to make mistakes, trying to create environments of growth.
So that could be on a sports team, that could be in a business, and that could be, as we've been experimenting with and testing, that could be in our family.
And when I say experimenting and testing, just so you guys know, it is not perfect, and we're constantly learning and growing, and that's why even the name, the brand, the podcast, the whatever, these things are constantly changing because we're constantly changing and we're constantly trying new things out and trying them on. And
that's a principle of growth from your first book.
Yeah. Try it
on.
Yeah. Put on the jacket. See if you like how it fits. Do you like what the pockets are? The arms are a little bit short. Let's try on a different one then. And so, doing that with beliefs, doing that with concepts, doing that with practices, doing that with principles, doing that with all of these types of things, what we've been doing the last couple of years. So now here we are. We're here.
Yeah.
And it's time to begin the process of sharing. So I guess I would think back to 2 years ago when we stopped recording. I began to feel like I was kind of grab bagging a little bit for topics. And I don't know if I was, but
wasn't as intentional as you wanted it to be.
I wanted to be more structured and intentional and thought out and thoughtful and impactful. And so we paused it because I didn't want to check a box.
This is the balance though for us, is that, like you said, we don't edit, we don't script, but we have intentionality behind what we're doing.
Yeah, we have an idea of what we want to get out of it or what we want to give to it, what we want to contribute to the moment.
What we get out of it is just a great connection and fun having these conversations.
Completely honest with you. Selfishly, we just love doing this together, and it gives us something that connect around and look forward to every week. It's probably our favorite part of the week is recording podcasts together. So we're back. Here we are.
We're back, baby.
So that's what we've been doing the last couple of years, an insane amount of content. And I don't know if I'll ever stop creating content. But I do know that the product suite that I envisioned 5 years ago, 7 years ago, when I really started to kind of form this entire thing that we now have rolling. The course that I'm right now working on is the final piece of what I had in mind. So anything beyond that course that I'm working on right now that has to do with the movement part of training the mind and the body and how to integrate all those things is called integrated training, is what I call it. I'm not sure what will come after that, but maybe something. So we're here to share. We're here to share what we've created the last couple of years. We're here to share and to test out what we're testing, what's working, where we're falling short, where we're making mistakes, to help you guys create your ideal environment that you want to create. It's never going to be ideal, but that's what we're striving for.
Yeah.
We're striving for progress in the pursuit.
One thing that we learned in all of our study of neuroscience is that iterating is really important.
That's the only way to make your brain feel safe from failure is constant iteration. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one thing we're committed to. That's why I said, don't count on anything actually being the same tomorrow as it is today, because we are committed to evolution and iterating, changing
growth,
reinvention.
It's what the universe is always doing. It's always expanding.
Right.
It's always growing. So if you aren't growing, then what's the same?
You ain't growing, you dying.
And there ain't no staying the same. Yeah. So that's it. We're back. We're excited to be back. And here's my request. We do have an entire series of content, of topics that I have in mind that I would like to share, that I would like to discuss with you, that I'd like to get out of my head, because this is actually how I do a lot of my creative work. Is I talk it out first, and then I put it on paper, and then I form it, and then I go test it in a workshop style, and then I come back and I refine it, and then whatever, right? So that's how I do a lot of that creative work. So this podcast, again, kind of selfishly, is being relaunched for me to have a platform to kind of force myself to process certain things, to get more clear about things, to refine certain thought threads and different things. So we're excited. But here's my request. If there's something that you're interested in when it comes to creating environments of growth, culture, environment of growth within yourself, right? You want to become something. You're going through a transition of any kind in life. You want to build something. I would love to hear your questions. I would love for you to give some requests of topics.
I forgot to tell you this, but they can text us through the podcast. Yeah, there's a link in the show notes. And if you're listening and you're hearing what Ryan's saying is the request, text us. We have a private text.
Where does it come to?
It's through our podcast platform.
So it comes to Buzzsprout?
It comes to us there, and then we can respond to those, and we can address questions that you have anonymously here on the show. So let's open up the dialogue. We'd love to hear from you. What are you working on, and where can we support you in the content that we're creating here too? So I completely forgot to tell you that I set that up.
I'm the visionary and Heidi's the integrator, so she integrates things that doesn't even tell me about them. But that's cool. So text us somehow, or email, or
it's in the show notes.
Whatever you do, however way you can try to contact. I mean, we're Instagram. Mm-hmm. Reach out to us on Instagram. Message us. I'm curious about X when it comes to building an environment within yourself that can create something new, that can bring something to life that doesn't exist, that can show up in a different way for your relationships.
Yeah. We have a ton of coaches that follow us on Instagram at Heart First Leadership. Mm. And I'm sure that there's probably questions about creating an environment of growth when it comes to their teams as well.
Yeah. Culture has become a passion of mine. And I always knew it was. I just didn't. It was just something I thought just happened. And now I realize
there's a recipe.
There's a recipe to it. Mm-hmm. It's really quite simple. As long as you have the system, you have the structure to it, and you have the right voices that are helping you to create that piece. And I think it's more important than ever, right?
Yeah.
For all the reasons, whether you're a collegiate environment and there's more turnover, obviously, because of the portal and different things like that are happening, or, there's just, you feel like there's a more of a need for retention in your business and you want stronger retention because the turnover there is a struggle, or you just feel like, and I've felt like this a couple small moments of this once in a while, just because the amount of, I'm going to call it distraction out in the world. Like it's really easy to start to feel like you're losing your kids.
Yeah. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of influence.
That is just not pure.
Yep.
Right. And I'm okay with their, a little bit.
We live in the real world. I mean, we're not trying to shelter to that degree. But
how do you create the type of environment where your kids can thrive, be themselves, be courageous enough to be themselves, and not be influenced by the world, which makes me think of like why I'm so passionate about training the mind and understanding the mind. Like it legitimately just lights me up. It's because if you're not intentionally creating you, if you're not intentionally creating your environment, if you're not intentionally training your mind, you're leaving it to chance. And the world is training it. Your environment is training you. And I want to create the type of structure and systems and environments where people know, like I know how to train my mind. I know how to help my environment train their minds. And therefore, I know how to create the type of culture where everybody's growing and they're really, truly deciding for themselves, like who they're going to be, how they're going to operate. And they're not, the word is, I was going to use the word victim, but they're not victim to their circumstances.
Right.
Right. And
yeah, it's powerful. I mean, that's how the next generation of leaders will come up in the world, whether it's their coach in the sport that they participate in, or their parent, or an employer. All of these people are creating environments of growth that are going to impact the next generation and how they show up in the world. So it's really important. And I just appreciate everyone being here, you listening, for tuning in. And obviously that's something that's important to you. If you're a person listening to this podcast, you want to create a positive environment of growth for yourself and for others around you. And it's going to take more of us to make a change.
Well, and final thread, as you were saying, that is that we're just on this mission to explore, to make ourselves a test subject, an experiment, which, I love doing. It's like, I'm going to just see what this does to me, whether it be cold exposure or whatever. Like, I just love to see what it does to me, right? I'm on a new kick right now. And I mean, little personal information. I have struggled to sleep my entire life. Okay. Very busy mind, which I have now realized is just very creative. It's always working. And I've learned to not judge that. But I've tried, and I'm doing something new from a routine perspective and training perspective, a lot of new little nuances this week, different nutritional kind of disciplines, and I'm sleeping.
Watch out, world.
I'm sleeping for the first time since I was 18 years old. Like consistently the last couple of days, like, stacking days of sleep. Let's go. So I love making myself an experiment, and we love, and so we're just going to stay in that mode. We're going to stay in this mode of being curious about what we don't know, being more curious about what we don't know than what we think we do know. Like that's heart first.
Yep.
And making ourselves an experiment and exploring and staying open and staying curious and growing, because whether you're talking about being an athlete, corporate leader, or whatever, like growth is the most important thing that you can create for yourself and your environment. And that's Heart First Leadership. That's all I got for today. And we're going to just have a blast. So thank you for being here. And we're excited to be back.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.